Crystalline sheets of carbon that are just 1 atom thick could be one of the future's most versatile high-tech materials. In 2003, Konstantin Novoselov was one of 2 researchers at the University of Manchester who first synthesized them, a feat which earned them the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2010. When Professor Novoselov came to the European Parliament for a hearing on technology, innovation and industrial competitiveness, we asked him about potential applications of this coming technology.
Graphenes are a field of research which has lots of applications, lots of potential applications, even though it's fairly small in economic terms until now. It's still in the single-digit millions, but the future potential seems to be vast. Could you just briefly explain to us where the future might be for it?
Well, the possible applications of graphene are really following from its unique properties. And in graphene, what we've got is a 1 atom thick fabric, which is extremely strong, it's very conductive, it's transparent, it's practically impermeable to anything. So its applications are basically consequences of those. So you can use it for applications where you need both conductivity and transparency, like touch panels or coating for solar cells, or for printed electronics, for flexible electronics, for ultra-strong composite materials, and so on. And what I should probably say, as we develop those applications, we also do quite a bit of science as well. And what we found now that graphene is not alone. We actually work on the whole family of those crystals, which are only 1 atom thick. And interestingly, collectively, they cover even broader range of properties. We find those which are optically active now, so potentially they can be used for many other applications as well.
Now, graphenes are an application or a field of research, let's say, where the applications are fairly obvious and fairly easy to explain to a layman like me, or to politicians also. When you do more, well, say basic research with less obvious applications, do you find it a lot harder to communicate it? Do you need such fields of research to actually talk about the importance of research?
Well, that's actually what we are hoping to see. That you see, graphene is quite unique material. It has a combination of unique properties. So many superlatives are really forced and pressed into one material here. So we're really hoping for the applications which would use all of them, and we really hope for the applications which we cannot possibly predict.
You're of Russian origin, but you have chosen to do your research in the EU, in the UK. What were the reasons for this choice? I mean, we're talking about brain drain or brain leakage from the EU at the same time. You chose to come here.
Well, there are a number of reasons. First of all is, of course, the team which we gathered together in Manchester. There is a very coherent group of people who work together in various aspects of material research, starting from graphene, from electronics to biosensors, bio-application, composite materials, power, and so on. And of course, the conditions which were created for us in Manchester are quite unique, and especially with the newly constructed National Graphene Institute, we are probably on the par with the best research centers in the world.
What kind of advice would you give to other European universities, research institutions, in order to become as attractive?
Well, probably the main advice is to invest in fundamental science and believe in fundamental science. The breakthroughs in technologies in the long term are much more promising rather than incremental small research.
Here in Brussels, you're meeting some of the people putting together an important part of the EU's budget, namely the EU's research budget. If you could condense your message to them into one sentence, or a few sentences, what would it be?
Well, I would definitely encourage to increase the science budget, because that's where the future of Europe lies, and it was extremely worrying to see that some of scientific programs in Europe, such as ERC, were prone to cutting. That's the last thing Europe should be doing. We need to support European science, and the innovation economy is a consequence of the science which we are doing now. It will pay off in 5 years' time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
It seems to be